right. Hopefully my microphone is back now. I can't believe I just sat there and just talked away for no reason. I don't have much voice, and I'm wasting it away. All right. Hopefully you guys have some sound now. I didn't even notice that. Interesting. Anyway, what I was saying was that I've been offline the past couple of days because of Microsoft 2020. It just stopped working one day. A couple of days ago. It just wouldn't boot. I couldn't even get it to boot up into safe mode. I got rid of the NVIDIA app that was in there. I actually got rid of the way I installed the DLSS 4, and I used Swapper instead, but it still wouldn't work. So I tried a reinstall of MS 2020. That wouldn't work. I tried a reinstall of Windows 10 and another install of MS 2020. That didn't work. So I went on to Windows 11. So I put in Windows 11 and then MS 2020 yet again. And it booted up. And it went to the main screen. So I have no idea what happened there. It didn't like something. But as a benefit, going to Windows 11, the networking seems to be a lot smoother now. The monitors here in the external views, the lag in between on the turns seems to be practically non-existent now. The flickers seem to be much better as well. I don't know if it's because it's a new install or if there's something else going on here with Windows 11 itself. But with X-Plane 12, there was no reinstall of anything. All I had to do was put in a couple serial numbers. So this is just the way it was. So, and it ran smooth. So it's not like it's a clean install. So, anyway, all right, let's see. Okay, it works now. We got sound. All right, good. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate that. All right, how about we get started here? You should have everything there. So let's get going. Now, like I said, the aircraft's cold and dark. We're doing a Saudia Air Flight 1464 from Prince Mohammad to King Khalid. They did this ride in 1 hour and 36 minutes. We'll see just how close we can come to that. So, DC battery selected to bat. DC battery switches on guarded. Standby powers auto guarded. Alternate flaps are off guarded. Fuel pump switches are off. Wipers are set to park. Hydraulic pumps electric 2 and 1 are off. Landing gear is down. We've got 3 green and 3 green on the aft overhead. Weather radar is set to test. Master caution reset. And we're going to do a fault in-op test. And overheat fire. Alright, and ground power is not available. Let me grab... Should have set that up beforehand. Let me grab the electronic flight bag from Zibo. And let's get this set up. Ground service, you, and you. Alright, now let me have that back. Okay, I think we're good there. Alright, ground power is now available. Let's get on ground. We'll confirm with the AC selector. And let's get set for unconditioned air. That looks good. Galley power's on. IRS selectors. Get those aligned. Emergency exit lights are armed. We will recycle the trim air switch. Temperature back there is fine. ATIS, let's enter our present position. So we are at OEMA. And you can see, just put the coordinates in there. That's in the database. And we will go and grab what's in the GPS now. And as you can see, the coordinates are pretty close. So we don't have an issue here. So that looks pretty good. We're going to need brake pressure. So let's get the electric pumps 2 on. Let's get that pressure up. In the meantime, we got flaps up, and showing up on the aft overhead. We'll give them the logo and position lights. Alright, the brakes are set. And now the brake pressure is just in the green, and it should stay there for a few hours unless we play with the brakes, but it doesn't seem to happen that way with the Zibo mod. Still have not been able to figure out why it drains out so quick. So, alright, that takes care of the originator flight. From here we're going to move on to the pre-flight. I hope they've been slain, Alex, those flickers. Hey Gino, how's it going? Welcome aboard. Alright, leading edge devices test. Service interphone is off. EEC switches on guarded. Engine reversers are extinguished. Crew oxygen is 12,000. Passenger oxygen is normal guarded. Flight recorder test. Mach speed test 1 and 2. Snow warning. A little too early for that. We'll come back to that. 3 green on the landing gear. PSEU is out. Let's check our oxygen flow here. That's good. And our lights test. Alright, we're good. Alright, flight controls A and B are on guarded, alternate flaps are off guarded, spoilers A and B are on guarded, your damper is on. VHF nav is normal, IRS is normal, FMC is normal, source selectors, auto control panel is normal. Fuel temperature is fine, cross feed check. We are good. AC/DC panel is set, equipment, cooling supply and exhaust is normal, emergency exit lights are on, no smoking seatbelt signs on. Window heat is on. We'll run the overheat test, TAT test. Wing and engine anti-ice are off. Electric hydraulic pumps 2 and 1 are off. We have 3 entranceways open. Test, test, test on the flight data recorder. Pressurization panel is zeroed out. Temperature back there is nice and comfortable. And let's reset the master caution. Recirc fans are set to auto. Packs are set to auto. Isolation valve is open. Gens 1 and 2 are on. APU is off, and let's run our overheat test. Wing body, air conditioning master, very good. Today's ride is flight level 330. And let's check the outflow valve. Alright, that's good. And our lights are good. We'll use the right igniter for this ride. Alright, let's do ATIS clearance and program the flight management computer now. I don't have SayIntentions installed just yet. Hopefully ATIS is going to work here. Let me give you... Oh, I got to move that back up now. And we'll give you the charts, and I'll take the charts. All right. Now, OEMA. Oh, we're already here. ATIS 126,850. No, it doesn't look like we're going to get ATIS here. I don't know, with SayIntentions, all of a sudden my ATIS just kind of disappeared here. If I'm not running it. Right. I'll leave that up, maybe it'll pop up. Let's see if ground is working. Looks like I don't have ATIS either, or ATC. Chatter up. Audio. Wheel tech. That looks good. try this. It's got ground on here. I'm just not getting any sounds. That's going to be boring. No ATIS this ride. Alright, I got to get SayIntentions on. I'll be right back. No, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. This is gonna be a boring ride. Alright, let's keep going, shall we? What I missed while I was out of the deck. You know, we're having pizza for dinner too. My wife wants to pick up square pie from Dominic's. We're going to King Khalid from Prince Mohammad in Saudi Arabia. Alright, let me give you the chart here. I'll look at what we have here. There really was nothing on that chart anyway. Let me give you the load data sheet. Let me look at the same thing. I'll come down here and take a look at the weather real quick. No segments. We're looking at 10:16. Alright. 15 scattered. Few. Yeah, we got a little bit going on there. Alright. Alright, ATIS clearance. Let's program the flight management computer now. Route. And we're going to OERK. Flight SVA 1464. Alright. Now, on the way out, we have midroll 1A. I don't see you. It's not even in here. Give me the runway. What do we have on the way out? 36. Let's see if it pops it up then. Right, we should have 1L, not 1A. Schmuck, learn to read. On the way in, we got Orderma 1A. Right, into 15 right. And I believe that was 621. Let's have a look at this ride. And it's too quiet in here. Alright, 991, 901, 803, 998, 997, then Medro, and then GOK, SA, BDB, and that's 2419 is the one we want. DAW. TAS. B. OBA. And then Ordem. Right, CAV 661, 646. 639, 632, 625, 1811, 4, 97, 76, 669, 662, 655, Pitter, 641, 643, 627, and then that puts us on the arrival. Alright, so let's have a look at some charts here real quick. Oh, thank Owens. Hopefully we'll have a nice, decent, easy ride. No ATC for some reason. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. Probably have to reinstall that as well. So that leaves SayIntentions and XATC chatter I got to go back and install. And then that should be back up to date with everything. I thought I hit everything. I guess not. What do I want now? I want charts. I give you the charts. And I'll take the same thing. Let's go to, on the way out, we're OEMA. And we've got Medro 1L. And where are you? That's what we want. Alright, so client 360 cost at 991, 901, yeah, that's all in here. Alright, so MA 991, we need to be above 5,600 feet, that's in. And then at MA 803, we need to be below 10. Right, 998 above 13. 997 below 16. That all looks good. Then we're out to Medro. And then on the way in, we had ODEM 1A. And we're coming from ODEM. Where's ODEM? ODEM, we need to be between 16 and 30. Okay, that looks good. KV between 15 and 2. 661 below 13. That looks good. Look at this approach, huh? 639. And then below 9 at 632. 625. 625. We need to be below 230 knots. And 618. 618 below 230. Above 6,000. That's in. And then 11 is going to be 230 max above 6. That looks good. 604 below, or 230 or below, above 6. 230 at 6. 236, 236. And that brings us to 662. 230 above 6. 655, 230 above 5. Pider. 230 above 5. 641. 210 at 5. Right. 641. Yeah, that looks right. 634. 210 at 5. 27. 210 at 5. 621. 210 at 5. And that puts us at the end of that. And let's grab, I said what, 15 right, they're using the ILS-Y is what we're going to use. 15 right. Right, here we get picked up at 621. Alper 210.5. And then Tavnu, and then we're on our way in. And then we have the mist holding at 4 on the way out. So that looks pretty good. So let's have a peek, make sure we don't have any discons in here, and we're all looking good. Pretty cool approach. Should have a view out both windows. Alright, and then we're holding at 4. So that looks good. Happy with that. Hey, Roken Zone, how's it going? You snuck in here. I'm doing pretty good, man. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Don't know if I'll be around to get on one of those rides, but that'd be pretty cool. Alright, that's done. Let's get our weight and all that stuff in here. Let me give you the load data sheet again. And let me look at the same thing here. Let's get all that for this ride. Alright, so our block fuel is 18.3. Payload is 35.2. Gives us a zero fuel weight of 130.2. Might be off a little bit, but alright, let me give you the electronic flight bag now. And let me grab the same thing. I'm going to lose the YouTube channel here for a bit. Let's get this in. Alright, the payload this ride we said was going, the fuel's going to be 18.3. I have all that fuel in there because I was running some tests with all the installing going on here. Our payload is going to be 35.2. Should give us a fuel weight of 130.2 and 29 on the CG. Alright, 130.2. Let me give you the little data sheet again. Let me grab the same thing. So we're going to be coming here next. Alright, now our zero fuel weight I said was 130.2. Our final reserve is going to be 7.2. Cost index this ride, the CI is 35. And we're cruising at 330. Let's get our cruise winds. Top of climb, 284 at 75. And we're looking at 8. Alright, we're not going to derate the engines. CG I said was 29. There's going to be a flaps 5 takeoff. Trim is 4 1/4. the winds were, if I believe they were nothing, 0 at 0 at 0 at 0 at 0. Nope, didn't go far enough. Yep, 0 at 0, 10-16 on the pressure. So that's all looking pretty good. We got a $148 on the engine out. And let's get our descent forecast in here. We're going to be at 20, 15, and 10,000. That's what I want. Don't know why that was a little difficult. Alright, and on the back end we've got 1017 and top of descent. Top of descent, we are looking at 8 and 1017. Let's get our winds on the way down. 292 at 50. 279 at 30. 10, we're looking at 251 at 13. And that's all looking pretty good. Let's get our cruise winds. We could put all this stuff in if we want by hand, but I'm not going to do that. See if we can get it from and there's our winds. Alright, so that's done. Alright, let's get the pedestal up next. Let me grab this back now. Hey, Roken Zone, I think I got you. Have you heard of the boom? Yep, I got that. Yeah, I'm running a night flight out of Saudia. This is not running at real time. None of that. I run X-Plane at night and Microsoft during the daytime, so. Stinks I don't have any audio in here, though, this ride. Alright, pedestal. Let me give you the charts again. And let me have the same thing. And we are at OEMA. Right, and I said we've got on the way out, this is what they're using. So I'm going to put this in. So if I have to come back, this is already done. And we hit some birds or an engine goes out or something. 21. And that looks good. 360. Alright, that all looks pretty good. Right, alright, so that's good. Well, that's going to be 1200 since we don't have anybody. That's all good. That's really not going to matter. Let's see if I can see if this will come in. Let's try this one. Alright, in the meantime, pedestal is done. I'll take terrain, position, data, airport, station. I'm on the master, you're on the slave. You'll take weather, airport, data, and position. Alright, on the way out, we are looking at and we're going to head straight up. 330. Since there's no ATC, we're heading straight up. Alright, that's all good. Nose wheel steering is normal. Got it. Let's check. and the lower. Alright, auto flight system. Test 1 and 2. Alright, primary flight display. Artificial horizon is level. Ground speed 0, 45 on the speed tape. V1 is 138, 148 on the engine out. Our initial heading is 000. And I did put that in. What was that? Decision height is in. Okay, and we can have that back now. And local pressure is 1016. I'm set up for terrain, and we're looking at 1016 on the standbys. Alright, reset the fuel flow. N1 is auto, speed reference is auto. You're going to be for rejected takeoff. I want that there and you there. I want you there. So that's all looking good. Trim is 4 1/4. We'll let that run amok. Back to 4 1/4. Alright, and you know what? You don't need that anymore. We can dump that. And let's check the bottles. We got a clean board, cargo test. Very good, and let's check TCAS. That test should be done. And let's check the stall warning. Very good, that's good. Alright, we have fuel in the center tank. Let's get the APU up and running.
Descend, crossing, descend, descend, descend now. Descend, descend now. Increase climb, increase climb, increase descent, increase descent. Maintain vertical speed. Maintain vertical speed. Crossing, maintain, monitor vertical speed.
Oh, I hear you, broken zone. Yeah, as I run through the flow, yeah. Alright, and let's do the ground proximity. We'll do the long test. I haven't done that one in a while. Alright, we're waiting on APU. Let's get these doors buttoned up, and how about we get ready for push? They can wait for us. Yes. Alright, I'm going to lose the YouTube screen here for a second. Ground services. And we're on APU is available. Confirm. Let's get set for APU bleed. Let's say that we've been waiting a minute. This way we can get out of here. So we can get rid of you. Brake pressure, brake pressure. Look at that, it's almost gone already. Alright, remove the chocks, get rid of the ASU doors. Let's button those up. And let's call for push. They can wait for us. And let's pause that now. And let's bring up. Oh, I lost my YouTube. Alright. Let's go back. I lost my YouTube there. Alright, so we're basically going to take Kilo, Juliet, cross over to Alpha, and then Alpha over to Echo. We'll take Echo down so we can get to runway 36. Be easy to just leave from 35, but they use 36, so we'll use 36. Alright, let's see. Bring up the subs now.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Hey, Airsoft, how's it going? And Sebastian, you must have snuck in here when I had the YouTube channel off. Alright, so we're good to get out of here now. Brake pressure's good. And we are disconnected from the gate. We're going to get right on out of here since we don't have ATC at all. That's the second time XATC has done that to me. I had a lot going on the past couple of days. Installing X-Plane. Installing MS 2020 3 times. Installing Windows 10, then Windows 11, because I still couldn't get 2020 to work. Alright, that clock is going. Let's get the brake off. Let's get out of here.
Here comes the pushback. Line them up.
Alright, and packs are off. Pressure's good. Anti-collision's coming on. And we're starting number 2. Pushback looks pretty smooth so far. I'm not going to hold that. And with Windows 11, I have actually bumped up one of the settings, that AA and AF. I had one of them at 4 and the other one just about all the way down, full left. Now they're both one notch from the right. So, and I had 1 or 2 pretty good rides in here, and it was pretty stable in New York. So, I think Windows 11 is going to be better for X-Plane than Windows 10. All right, that looks good. You're off. Auto pressure's good. We're starting 1. So, it's a shame I didn't update to Windows 11 sooner, but I went to Windows 11 kicking and screaming the whole way, even now. But if it's going to give me smoother performance in X-Plane, I can't see how much more performance I'm going to get in 2020, because it was performing great before. Oh, you know what? Make a note of that. XATC chatter. And SayIntentions. Say AI. I got to get those 2 in. And then X-Plane is back up to snuff. Alright, that's good. Good. You're off. And we got a clean board.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake. And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
I think the worst jump for me was going to Windows Media. Oh my Lord. Bill Gates should get everybody in the country a free version of Windows just for releasing that garbage in the first place. Yeah, my favorite was XP. Windows XP, that was my favorite. Had a hard time going to Windows 10 too, but computer's trying to be more and more like a freaking cell phone with all its apps. Should leave it that way. But that's just my old man opinion.
Signal and pin on the left. Maybe you can have some flight.
All right, there goes a tow. You're going to TA, you're going to auto, you're going to auto. Let me have you. Let's check that bad boy. Beautiful. All right, so we're good to get out of here. Naturally, we would call for a push. For clearance of taxi, but since we don't have ATC this ride, and then the night lighting usually puts a little bit more demand on my system because I'm running reshade. So, well, that's one thing I noticed. I'm going to have to take a look at that. See that big time flicker with the lights there? I got to change the lights over on these 2 computers from halogen, from LED to the old style, because they're way too bright. It's one of the reasons why I picked this. See that light there? It's nowhere near as bright here in the center. So I got to fix that as well. All right, we got a left on Juliet here. Another couple of airports I don't think I've ever been to at all in real life or in the sim. Alright, we're going to take this down to the end, bang a right, take Alpha across, and we're going to cross 35 and 36 as we come around. I hope there's a pretty big city on the back end here. I have no idea what King Khalid airport looks like or what the surrounding area looks like. Hope there's some lights to check out. I'll have to read that when I get down to the end here. It's hard for me to see that text. Oh, slow down there, Johnny. 20's quick enough on the straightaways. Yeah. Oh, with the hardware? Yeah, you're not kidding. Do I buy a new 737 throttle guard for my sim or get MCDU for CDU? For the A3, I think it really depends on what you really want to fly. Long term. You know, do you want your A320 quad or do you want your the side stick, or do you already have your side stick? All right, Juliet, and we're cleared to cross. See, these lightings look pretty decent, but you can see there's a difference here and there. I might even be able to change that from here. All right, we got a right on Alpha now. Alpha to Echo. Guess I could have set it up to leave out of 35. Would have been easier. All right, here's Alpha. Easy there, Louis.
Approaching 36.
All right, and we got a left on Echo down to the end. Yep, I think I got to fix those two side lights. All right, we got this down to the end. And we're going to get right on out of here. There you go. If you can afford it, and it's something you really want, there you go. You only live once. All right, let's get that up now. And we're good to get right on out of here. And that is set. Let's have a quick peek.
The cabin is secure. Have a good flight.
10 notification is complete. Exterior light says needed. We are good. Engine start select is the continuous. Auto throttles on. Transponders TARA auto. Flight controls. And we are good to go. Brakes, release 40%. And we're good.
On runway 36.
Couple little flickers there, I noticed. Stable, toga. Thrust set. Airspeed active. Check. Throttle hold. And we're stable through 80.
D1, rotate. Positive brake.
Gear up. And we're basically heading straight out, so we're going to give this to Zibo and see how the auto flight handles this ride.
400.
So that's from 400 feet.
1,000.
So we need to be above 5,600 by the time we hit 991. We're at 3,500 right now. And we can dump you. Should have a decent view out that right window. Yeah, so far it's looking pretty smooth. So I'm liking Windows 11 so far. What it's been showing me as far as smoothness. And X-Plane is more hard-hitting than 2020. It's going to be interesting to see what 2020 does. Flaps 1. I'm not sure, Roken Zone, maybe. I'm not sure. And flaps up. So we need to be above 5,600. We're at 6,300 climbing, so that constraint's met. And now let's see if she's going to stay at 10,000 until we pass 803. She should. She should obey the flight management computer on the way out. Pulling away from the city. Don't know what we're going to see on that right turn, though. Not much out there. So yeah, today's ride is 502 miles we got left. They did this ride in an hour and 36 minutes, so we'll see how close we come to that. Not much down there as far as city lights, though. You can see some traffic, but and some city lights way out in the distance. But that's it. Other than that, there's darkness. Looks like maybe a headlight from a car in the distance there or two, but that's it. And we got some stars. All right, and we're coming up on 10,000 now, so let's clean her up. All right, the engines are kicking down. We should level off at 10 now until we pass 803. Nicely done. Yeah, I guess sand and oil. All right, so XATC, I got to look at that. I got to look at SayAI. But there was something else I wanted to look at. And we're going to 74 now. And the fuel, 16.8. We're 16.9, so we're up on the fuel just a bit. We'll have 10.6 when we get in. 112 to top of climb, 492 to go. Pressure's holding beautifully. Temperature is fine back there for them. Hey, we got a 20 knot tailwind pushing us along here a little bit. Not bad. Don't usually get the tailwind. I'm usually fighting them. I wonder if I can bring up, I wonder if you would get the audio from that just to play in the background. I wonder. Maybe when we get to cruise, I'll see if I can bring up live ATC. Oh, I wonder if I can do it from here. Oh, I don't have my keyboard, so that won't work. I need my keyboard to do that. So we need to be 10,000 or below at 803. We're holding 10 right now. 250 knot, well, basically cruise right now until we start our climb out. And then we're going to make a little bit of a right bank. We're going to hit it to 998. We need to be above 13, then above 16. So after this, we should just climb straight on out to 330. Still got some city lights out there in the distance. Looks like one long highway. Some city lights out in the distance beyond that, but other than that, darkness. Some city lights way out in the distance there as well, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, not much to see. So at 803, we should have 16.3 on the fuel. We're 16.7 right now. Got 100 miles top of climb. And you know what? We're pretty smooth, so we're going to let them run around. Matter of fact, let me move you. You're not going to need this sheet anymore. Let Let me move you to the other screen. Hopefully I'll be able to grab that from the computer back there that runs the show. Looking out the window, it looks like we're in a bank. That road must be heading downhill. All right, 803. 803, 16.5. 16.5, she just switched. So we're back right on the money. All right, here we go. We're on our way up now. Beautifully done. So from cold and dark to where we are now, perfect run from Zibo Mod so far. Beautiful ride. It looked pretty smooth on the way out, but I was a little busy here and there, so I'll go back and I'll take a look at the monitors later, but it looked like it was pretty smooth on the way out. We'll see on the way in with the night lighting. I would, but I don't want to install Orbix Control Center just for a sound set. Or I would actually get it Airsoft. If that company actually makes it available through like an installation app instead of having to use Orbix Control Center. Because I don't like putting that in. Same thing with FS Dream Team, which is why I took all that stuff out. I don't like all those things on my computer. All they do is introduce flickers and stutters and cause problems. So I've done away with all that stuff. And for a sound set, I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous to actually have to install Orbix control panel just to install a sound set. And then I'll never need that control panel ever again, but it's got to sit on my computer. So, all right, we're going to standard pressure, and we will hit both once we finish this turn. We're going to 132. And the fuel 16.1. We're right on the money. All right, let's have a peek here. All right, autopilot's engaged. 10 notification is complete. Cam pressurization temperature is we're going to monitor that. Engine bleeds are on. Pack switches to auto. APU is off. Exterior lights as needed. We are good. And engine start selectors as needed. They're off. We don't need them. Auto brake is off. Landing gear is up and off. And the auto brake selector is off. And we're on standard pressure. Pretty cool ride. All right, 997. We should have 15.8 on the fuel. We're 16 right now. So this is a pretty good run. Right on the money. We're above 13 when we passed 998, and we're passing 16 right now. So that last constraint for 997 is met. Yeah, I think, matter of fact, that sound set it was exclusively from Orbix. So, and Orbix, you need their controller in order to put the thing in. I was hoping it was going to come from their website as well with a separate installer, but I've been told it's an exclusive. So they're out. I won't be buying that just to put in Orbix installer. So they're going to miss out on a couple of bucks. And I basically fly from inside the flight deck, so all the outside stuff and all those sounds really doesn't matter to me for the most part anyway. Alright, that should be coming into range now. So we're inbound Medro, and Medro puts us at the end of the SID. And Medro, we should have 15.1 on the fuel. We're 15.7. We've got 450 miles to go, 70 to top of climb, 10.6 on the fuel on the way in. Oil pressure, temperature, quantity, vibrations, EGTs all looking fine. Temperature's looking beautiful, and the pressure's good. All in all, beautiful run. Only two issues is XATC and SayAI. So, and those are two separate installs, which won't affect X-Plane. other than putting in a plug-in. And the plug-in should be there, so it may just be something that Windows 11 needs that's not in there during the installation process for both of those programs. And it didn't even dawn on me. Well, that should be good for next run anyway, in X-Plane. But after this, I want to go start checking MS 2020. Make sure she's just as good. We've lost all the city lights now. There's nothing out there but some stars. And darkness. And we're going to 93. 15.3, 15.2, we're up 100 pounds. And that's 24 out, okay. And that puts us at the end of the SID out of Prince Mohammad in Saudi Arabia. Let's go to our charts here. And that puts us on the airway, 852. And we're inbound Goksa. Alright, in the meantime, let me go see if I can get some air traffic control in here, some live ATC in the background, being that the SayIntentions and XATC isn't working. I'll be right back. I gotta take my meds anyway. My wife came in and brought in a whole pile. I'll be right back.
1,000 to go.
All right. I guess I can't get that ATC going. Stinks. Yeah, next run we should have ATC. What are we looking at here? We're coming up on cruise. Oh, we're at cruise now. 32 minutes since we left the gate, 20 minutes since we entered the runway. We've got 180 miles to top of descent, and we've got 382 to go. And we get in an hour. So right now we're about 3 minutes ahead of schedule. And we got a 75 knot tailwind pushing us along. Very nice. Don't usually get those. I'm usually fighting a headwind. And man, there's one road down there. That's it. Nothing else but darkness. One road. Kind of eerie. And there was something else that I wanted to take a look at, and I cannot remember. XATC chatter and SayIntentions. Could have swore there was something else. And I don't remember. Yeah, exactly. All right, so from BDB, 14.1 on the fuel. We're 14.2 right now. 10.6 when we get in. 370 to go. All in all, pretty good ride. No complaints, other than a couple of programs I have to finish installing. But Windows 11 is looking pretty good as far as X-Plane is concerned. It seems to like Windows 11 a little better than it did Windows 10. We got a little bit of a ways to go for our next waypoint here. And let me take the weather. You can have the terrain. See if we got any weather out there. And we're going to 83 now. Fuel's right on the money. Really? Should be like 1080p. It's showing excellent connection. I don't think it's on my end. It's got excellent connection with a green dot. And the camera films at 1080p, so that's what it said at in the OBS software. Looks pretty good here on my tablet, though. Wonder if it's on your end. Well, I notice sometimes, because YouTube will do that to me too, Memphis, when I first log in, and I'll tell it, you know, you have a choice to pick what resolution you want. I could pick 1080, it shows HD, and it looks crummy. And it takes about maybe 10-15 seconds, and then all of a sudden, the picture kicks in. So I don't know if that's what's going on with you right there. Could be. That happens to me every now and then. Even when I go back and look at my own videos. And I have a great connection. My ping time to the to my service provider is 0.17 milliseconds. And we have their top service, which puts me at 950 some odd KB second. So, and I check my connection regularly just to make sure they're not ripping me off or trying to tone me down a little bit. So I'll go in there and I'll run some speed tests just to make sure that they're staying honest. So I know it's not on my end, that's for sure. And right now, I think I've got probably about the cleanest Windows 11 you could possibly have. It's just Windows 11, what I need to fly, and whatever updates came with 11. That's it. But man, was that a pain. I have no idea what happened to MS 2020. It was working beautifully. I actually did a video showing me at various airports, looking how smooth it was, kicking up the graphics to 400 and 200. The sliders were all the way up. They were past ultra. And I had a couple of settings that I bumped down to high, like the waves, stuff like that, which I'm not going to see close up being in an airliner. And it was running beautifully. And I went to a whole bunch of places, ran great, turned it off, family came for dinner. Sunday was great, went, turned it back on after they were gone. Boom. MS 2020 wouldn't run. It would boot up 2/3 of the way there and then just crash the desktop. Crash the desktop over and over again. I went and I checked the event log in Windows. It gave me some percent sign, some big number. Thought it was associated with NVIDIA app. Uninstalled that. It still wouldn't run. I uninstalled MS 2020, installed it from scratch. It still wouldn't run. I then installed Windows 10 from scratch and then put MS 2020 on top of that. It still wouldn't run. So instead of installing 2020 again, I just went into Windows and I said, I didn't want to go to Windows 11, but the opportunity was there and I didn't want to do another install. So I said, go ahead, update to Windows 11. As soon as it updated to Windows 11, 2020 loaded right up without having to install it again. So it was something with Windows, and Windows 10 brand new install wouldn't fix it. Crazy. I've never seen anything like it. But if I'm going to get better performance out of the deal, then it was worth the aggravation for a couple of days. Because from what I've seen so far, granted, it's just a short period of time. Oh, we got city lights down there. It could easily go back to being a stuttering mess. Because X-Plane 12 is a hog on resources compared to 2020. But I believe that Windows 11, I think that they fixed something with networking or adjusted stuff or just tweaked it so it's optimized better, because there's a night and day difference between Windows 10 and Windows 11 running X-Plane. And X-Plane, you can go from computer to computer to computer. You don't have to reinstall. That's a great thing about X-Plane. I just turned it on, made sure everything was good. I had to put in a couple of activation codes because of the new Windows. That's why SayIntentions and XATC don't work. I didn't check those two things. So the demand was the same. It's not like I had a brand new install, so it's like, ooh, it's nice and fresh. It's going to run smooth. I don't load a lot of stuff into X-Plane, and I don't load stuff into MS 2020 because I prefer smooth performance over everything. So X-Plane is what I barely need to get going. FDS to XP, ZHSI, Zibo mod, Traffic Global, and that's pretty much it. I don't run extra airports anymore. I have dozens and dozens and dozens of them. I don't even put them in. I found that they just induce flickers. whether it comes down to their programming techniques or they're just not optimized as well. But the one good thing about X-Plane is they have that corridor, gateway, whatever it is. So individuals can work on the airports that they like, that they know in their area that somebody else may not have worked on, upload it to X-Plane. And what's great is Laminar Research will take the time to check that airport, make sure that the code is good, it's fine, and then include it into the base program. So I don't need an extra download. I don't have to go searching for it. It's included in the base. It doesn't get any better than that. And a lot of the airports that I go to in X-Plane, they look good enough for me. You know, it's basically all the flying, programming stuff and all that airliner stuff. So for me, you know, looking at a lot of pretty stuff on the ground, it would be nice, but it's not necessary. So, and that's one of the big disadvantages of 2020. Their airports look like crap. I mean, the MS 2020 looks beautiful from the air, but their airports are garbage. Period. You know, it is what it is. And I guess you could tell I'm not a fanboy of either platform because I fly both. They both have their weaknesses. They both have their advantages. X-Plane I love at night because of the night lighting. I have better control over it. I can use reshade with it without having issues. And I control individual light bulbs, not only their size but the intensity. I can't do that in 2020. So there's that much more for me to actually tweak to give me a better look in X-Plane. And at night, you're not seeing photogrammetry buildings anyway. You know, you're not seeing the maps that are on the ground coming from Google. So for me, X-Plane is just as good. Well, it's actually better than 2020 at night, because at night, from what I've seen flying around, it just looks like day textures that they've popped up in these city areas, and they kind of just faded out the outer edge. It's just softened them up like gray into darkness. That's what it looks like to me. So that's why I prefer this. But in the daytime, X-Plane can't compete with 2020 or 2024 as far as the outside view, with the exception of the airports. And in 2020, you can actually do dead reckoning stuff from the areas that you know and you're familiar with, that you may have flown in the real world. You can't do that in X-Plane. This is a plausible world. You try looking for that Exxon station that's on freaking 45th and Madison, you're not going to find it, right? So they both have their advantages and disadvantages. I'm just lucky that I've been able to get this flight deck to work with both base platforms. And there aren't many out there, if any, that can actually do that. So thanks to Pikatanga, the gentleman that created FDS to XP, maintains it, also maintains ZHSI, which gives me the glass screens. So all freeware, which is amazing. So, and then there's Mr. Odom, Niles, that created Device Interface Manager, that allows this flight deck to work with MS 2020 and PMDG. So I kind of have the best of both worlds. And there aren't many flight decks out there that can do this. So that's pretty cool. And I can switch over in a matter of about, I don't know, a minute and a half. I got 5 cables I got to switch. And if I decided to put in 3 AB boxes, I wouldn't have to switch any cables. And then these 2 monitors, I just have to run a second cable into the other computer. And then I just go from HDMI 1 to HDMI 2 and I'm done. So it's pretty cool. Pop-out panel manager was giving me an issue in the beginning with MS 2020. And then I found the best way to use pop-out panel manager was to go into PMDG's camera settings in their config file, and I set up my own view for the pilot. I have an inside view and an outside view, which is right in front of the post in the middle, which gives me the nice view in 2020 without having to cannibalize the inside of the flight deck. But I also set up my own inside view, which is basically by the door, by the jump seat, looking down at the entire flight deck. That's my view. It defaults to that every time because I put that in the config file. So now when I set up pop-out panel manager, no matter where I am, it goes back to that default view, and I always get my screens. I don't get those red boxes, failed, 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 failed every now and then, because the view kind of changes a little bit here and there. So that was a trick that I found that worked out really well. So pop-out panel manager works out just as well as ZHSI does. I just click on one button, poof, they're up. Same thing with ZHSI. I bring up ZHSI on the shortcut, poof, they're all up. So the only shortcomings in MS 2020 are my flight illusion gauges. They don't work. I have not been able to figure it out. I know Pat 738, those of you that may know him, has a flight deck just like mine. Matter of fact, if you do a search for Pat 738 on YouTube, you'll find his channel. Supposedly he has them, and it has the MS 2020 code in it. I just have to get my hands on them and try them. But I haven't been able to find any that work. And being that Flight Illusions is no longer in business, my last conversation with them was to use ProSim. And since I don't use ProSim, that would be impossible. So G-Step just doesn't work. It tells me that I'm connected, all the gauges light up, but there's no activity. So, but that's it. I get those Flight Illusion gauges, MS 2020 and X-Plane, they're basically a match. And eventually MS 2020 will take the lead over ZHSI and MS and X-Plane, because eventually I'll be able to use my pedestal gauge for the rudder trim. Can't use that in X-Plane, because FDS to XP or ZHSI, one of them, just can't run that TechWorks stuff. So that'll be coming in the future, which is pretty cool. But Windows 11 is still very new. We'll see how it plays along. Right now, I'm very happy with it. All right, we're coming up on door 12.9 on the fuel with 12.9. We've got top of descent in another 38 miles. We've got 240 miles to go. We'll have 10.4 on the fuel. Pressure is good. Temperature is fine. And our oil pressure, temperature, quantity, EGT, N1 and 2, that's all looking pretty good. We left the gate 49 minutes ago, and we entered the runway 37 minutes ago. And we get in another 45 minutes. Right now, we're still holding that 1 or 2 minute early time. Looking pretty good. And you should be 7.6 there, Johnny. Pay attention, Louis. Wow, my voice is holding up pretty good today. I've been doing a lot of chat. What do you got? Oh, you didn't get me all of them? What's that? Oh, yeah, I don't like that one. That's one. Yeah, take that one away. I'm kidding. She's got that medicine that makes me gag. Cough, breaks up all the stuff in my throat and my lungs and all that, but it is just that's why you hear me doing this all the time with that. I feel like Oscar Madison every now and then with that freaking that he used to do, or Felix Unger, not Oscar. I'm more like Oscar if you look at my bedroom. Nice. We got an 81 knot tailwind pushing us along. Yeah, I'm gonna go take them right now. I'm at cruise, so yeah, I'll go do that right now. All right, everybody. I gotta go take some meds. I'll be right back. Stretch my feet a little bit too. So, but we're getting there. We got another 20 odd miles to top of descent. You know what? How about we get them back in their seats? And I said we are good all the way down to 13. Let's get that set up. We're on the way down. Right? Yep, 20 miles top of descent. I'll be right back. that medication. I hate that med. Alright, what are we looking at? 3.5 miles, top of descent, 2:05 to go. All in all, it's been a great run. Alright. So what are we looking at now? We have 202 miles to end of flight. That's 53 miles since we entered the run, since we left the gate, and 41 minutes since we entered the runway. So we're looking pretty good. And we're starting to come down beautifully. All in all, it's a great ride. So after this, I got to work on XATC, SayIntentions, and then I'm going to move on over to MS 2020 and see how well that performs next. Actually, what I may do, I just want to see how good this is going to perform. What I may do is I may get SayIntentions, XATC chatter in here, do another ride in here, but daytime. Maybe I'll do the return flight from King Khalid into Prince Mohammad, just as one more test, and then we'll move over to MS 2020 and make sure that's up to snuff with Windows 11. Yeah, I think Pat 738's been using Windows 11 for quite some time. Now I know what he means by him saying that his stuff looking really smooth, and I just wasn't seeing it. Really had to fight to get rid of every flicker, but definitely looks better right out of the gate. And I don't have any of that DLSS4 in. Didn't mess with any of that just yet. So none of that's in. So hopefully that's only going to improve things. Let's see, are we on that chart yet? Let's have a look here. Right, and we have, what did I say? With demo 1. Right, 1A. Oh, there you go. Oh, we're on that chart already. There you go. We're on that chart already, and we're good down to 15. You need drag? Let's see, are you kidding me? Are you lying here? Nope. Alright, we'll give you some drag. So we need to be between 15 and 20 at Cavor. Right now we're 25.4 descending. Pretty cool ride, and that's one crazy looking approach. Or arrival, that is, but still. We got a left, a right, a right, a left, a left, a right, a right. And then if we miss, a few more turns. Well, we should have some decent views out the window. Hopefully there's some city lighting to see down there, and the weather's going to cooperate. And I will take the terrain now. You can have the weather. And let's get set up. 15 right, we're doing the ILS-Y. Why? Why not? Decision height is 204. Elevation is 2053. Oh, we're going to 2050. Alright, that looks good. Missed. 147. Yeah, right, direct to hold, and we are holding it for. Yes, we are. At Pitter. That all looks pretty good. 147. 147. 110.5. It was the same as the airport we left. Interesting. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. And if we take a look, let's see. Here, what did I say? So we're at Terminal 5. If you take a look here, here's Terminal 5 down here in the corner. And we're coming in on 15 right. So we're going to come in here 15 right, cruise on down. Hopefully we can get off here at A2 and come across Tango. And we'll take Tango over to Frank. And Frank gets us over to Terminal 5. And we have gate C5. And if we take a look at the parking, if I pick the right one here, you can see down here in the corner at Terminal 5, we've got C5 on the way in. Oh no, no complaints this run the entire way. It's been pretty great. Oh, we might as well get you set as well. And let's run through that. You can come on back. And let's see, bleed air panel is set to auto. Pressurization, land altitude is in. Passenger signs are on. Auto brake selector is set. Flight instruments and radios are set. You're set. Let's get the... We're coming in at a buck 48. Altimeter. Okay, recall. We've got, at what did I say? The pressure on the way in was 1017. Alright, that's all looking pretty good. And VREF minimums are in. We are good. So we need to be between 15 and 20. We just passed 15.7 now. On our way in, we need to be below 13 now. We are good all the way down to 9. Well, we're good below 9, so we're actually good to 6. Oh, we got some city lights out there in the distance off to the right. That looks pretty cool. Don't know if the camera's getting them, though. And sorry about the no transmissions. I missed a couple of programs on my Windows update and reinstall. So, and we're going to go to local pressure now. And that's coming into range, and that's 3. Whoop, too far, Louis. And we've got 143 miles to go. Yeah, think so, Sam? Yeah, that's true too. I've noticed that with my videos, when I've uploaded videos that I pre-recorded, so I go through them and I edit them, make the cuts and all that. I know how smooth they are, and I'll see flickers and little, pauses here and there in the video that didn't happen during my flight. So it definitely happens either with my recording studio, either does it when it compiles it, or when it goes to YouTube it gets done, or it may get done a little bit, on both ends. Who knows? All right, so below 6, we're holding 13. We're going to hold that until we're ready for our next descent point. And then we're going to continue on down to 9. 9 down to 6. And then 6, we're going to hold 6 for quite a bit. So far, X-Plane and Zibo Mod has performed beautifully. Yeah, I think I'll also see it, Sam, if I go and run another day flight with X-Plane, because everything will stay exactly the way it is. Matter of fact, I'll probably, I got to see. You know what? If I can keep X-Plane running, I'll see if I can keep it running and see if I can get SayIntentions. SayIntentions is a separate program, so I think I can get that installed. Don't. Traffic Global, I might be able to get away with because everything is installed in X-Plane. Only thing missing, I think, is whatever's needed for Windows. I don't know if it runs any additional files in the background. And we're going to continue our descent down now to 9. And 12.1 on the fuel. We're right on the money on the fuel. We can come on down to 5. It's going to hold 6 all the way around. That's a pretty cool view out that front window. Pressure's coming down beautifully. Temperature is fine. EGT, oil pressure, and all that is beautiful. It's been a great run. We got 133 miles to go. No, 122 miles to go. And that's an hour and 4 minutes since we left the gate. 53 since we entered the runway. So they did this ride in the real world in an hour and 36. So we got about 30 minutes to get in to match that of the real world. And they did this same kooky approach. So we're running it just the way they ran it. All right, we're going to start slowing up here. Let me give you some break. Drag required. I'm way ahead of you, pal. Way ahead of you. So we're slowing at 240 now. And we'll be at 230 by 625. So that's 250 knots now. And we're slowing at 240. And we're just coming up on 10,000 now. Let's reset that. And we're coming up on 10. That is set. Let's have a quick peek. Exterior lights check set. We are good. Engine start select is the continuous, and I'm already on terrain. Oh, we're looking pretty good. $32.12 on the fuel, right on the money. We'll have 10.2 when we get in, so fuel's not going to be an issue unless I can't put her down. And we've got 110 miles to go. In about 20 minutes we'll be in. We should have a pretty decent view out that right window on a couple of right-hand turns coming up. Got nice city lights out in front of us. Another city light patch out in the distance. We got a major highway running across right here. All right, we're slowing to 230. And we're going to 56. Ooh. Let's get a little break out here, slow that down. Let's get to 230. Pretty cool view. You can see all the red lights from the brake lights, tail lights on the vehicles down there. Pretty cool. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it looks pretty cool from here. Alright, so we're passing that now, and we're down to 230 knots. 47 is next. What I say we're holding at 4. It's almost like we're doing the search pattern. Nice view out that right window. Man, look at all the traffic down there. Must be coming to the airport to pick up all these people. So 2:30 at 6 all the way around, basically. I hope you enjoyed the ride today. Sorry about the audio. Be nice if I can get the return flight done today. I might do it daytime in here, just to go and check XATC chatter and SayIntentions on my next ride, because I think those are the only two things that are missing. And then X-Plane is good with Windows 11 all the way around. So yeah, I think I'll do the return flight in the daytime. Graphics aren't going to look as nice as 2020, granted, but I also want to see just how smooth she's going to be in the daytime as well. It's hard to see at night. I mean, I could tell on the runways, you know, but once you get in the air, I mean, it looks pretty smooth, but we're really not pushing out a lot of data here, I don't think, out here in Saudi Arabia. Maybe once we get a little bit closer, but doesn't look like we're pushing out a lot of stuff down there. So here we got a couple of lefts coming up now. I'll get my head out of the way so you can actually see some of that lighting down there. Oh, and then for those of you that are joining in, the lighting that you see down there, that's my night lighting edits. So if you don't like them, that's on me. I wasn't crazy about Laminar's lights, so I went in and I made my own edits, changes, and whatnot. And I also added reshade into the mix. There's our airport right down there. So we should have a decent view of some city lights there as we come in. Actually, that's not our airport. Our airport's right here. Right in the middle of all that darkness. All right, and the fuel, 11.5, 11.5. 10.2 when we get in. 85 miles to go now. A little more zigzag, and we'll be on our way in. And again, sorry about the audio. That's my fault. I overlooked those two programs. I have it in my head that X-Plane, well, I guess it's true, X-Plane, you can just copy it from computer to computer, put in your activation, and you're good to go. But there are a couple of programs that I'm using that, well, I kind of missed out on that. There was a little jump there, I noticed. And we're coming around at 57, and we'll come right around at 327. Right. And, oh no, what? There you go. There's a view out that window. Not bad. At least I don't think so, but I'm a little biased since they're my night lighting edit, so. This is actually a pretty wicked approach. I know I never did this ride in the real world or in the simulator, because this I'd remember. So this is definitely my first time coming into this airport ever. May have to work a little bit of color magic there. Too bad we're not making it right. (11.3, 11.3), 75 miles to go. We're holding beautifully. So far, the flight management computer has been basically right on the money. I gave it to the auto flight at 400 feet when we left, so pretty good job. That looks interesting. My head out of the way. Don't know if you're getting that view. That looks pretty cool. Got the moon coming up there as well. Wicked. And I'll tell you, for those of you that are my regulars, speaking about blurry textures and things like that, they should actually be better, because I was able to bump up, I don't know if it was the AA or the AF. I had one of them at 4 times. You know, you can't go 8 because this thing would be a stuttering mess. It's 1 notch down, the bottom one. The other one I had basically 1 notch from the right. Now they're both 1 notch down from full right. So I'm actually getting a better view out the window, and better performance with Win 11 so far. Pretty cool. Alright, 230 above 6. We're at 9,000 holding right now. We'll start our descent in just a little bit. I hope you're having a good day, Reality Trailers. I'm having a pretty good one today. The last couple of days weren't all that great doing all the reinstall stuff, but if the end result is going to be nice and smooth like this, then I'll take it. A little bit of grief with a whole lot of joy on the back end. That works for me. Oh, that's good, Reality Trailers. Hey, there's nothing better than being your own boss. There's nothing better than you calling the shots, man, and nobody telling you what to do. Especially when it comes with your financial income. You know, a boss can't come in here one day and say, hey, you're fired. You know what, sorry, but we're downsizing, we got to let you go. You know, pretty cool. Hopefully there's a piece of cheese at the end of this maze. Yeah, man, you only get one go around, Reality. You know what? Like Frank Sinatra said, you got to do it your way, right? You don't want to look back when you're sitting in a wheelchair or in a nursing home somewhere and go like, man, I wish I would have did that. Wow, why didn't I do this? You know? When I'm laying in bed and it's all said and done, and I'm just about ready to go, I want to look back and go, man, that was exhausting. So far, I think I'm right on track because I absolutely, positively do not want to go back and do any of that again. Once was enough. Look like we're running into some darkness here again. Looks like we're leaving the city. Alright, here we go. We're going to start continue our descent now. They want us at 210 knots at 641. Speed's coming down nicely. And just about 50 miles left. One more U-turn coming up. And we're on our way in. It's going to be interesting to see if I still have that Windows issue in the center. For those of you that follow my flights, you'll know that every now and then, all of a sudden, my frame rate in the center monitor would drop in half. And I'd actually have to go into NVIDIA and then double them to get them back where they were. But it's going to be interesting to see if that issue is gone now. I haven't seen the frame rate change in the center at all from what has been said at. But then again, I really haven't done a lot of flying either. Just a lot of testing and fooling around. But so far, so good. Alright, max 230, we need to be above 5. We're at 7,400, 7,300 and change descending. So we need to be at 5,000, 210 or below at 641. One more turn and we're on our way in. I don't think I have any complaints about this ride. None. Programming went smoothly. The taxi out. Takeoff, climb out, cruise. Even the descent on the way in. I had no porpoising effect going on here, none of that. Not bad. And it looks like we're going to have a crosswind on the way in. So I guess today's ride would be equivalent of someone sitting in the jump seat that doesn't have the opportunity to have a headset on to listen to ATC, I guess. That would be equivalent to today's ride. Oh, we got an aircraft crossing. Is he on TCAS? At least I believe it's an aircraft crossing. Alright, and we're going 147. We'll just come all the way around. Alright, so 210 knots. That's basically flaps up speed. We got a max at 210. We can actually bring out some flaps. You know what? Let's do that. Let's start easing up a bit. You don't need drag. You're looking pretty good right now. You're slowing up beautifully. It's an erroneous message. Darkness. Oh, there's one road down there. And it breaks out. That's it. Give me 5. You still got the speed. No peanuts, man. You complain, you don't get no peanuts. Yeah, it looks like we're in a little bit of a mix of clouds here. Give me 10. Alright, so we're at 5,000 right now, holding. And we're going to hold that until we pass 621. Actually, we're going to hold that until we hit Alper. Yeah, some city lights out in the distance. Pretty smooth on the turn here. But it's really not drawing much. So I wouldn't think the demand would be rather high here. I got a little experiment going on here right now. I have the center computer is a 7950 X3D from AMD, right? But the two side computers are i9-10900s from Intel. They're both identical with the hardware. And I have Windows 11 Pro on the left, and in the center, and in the right I have X-Plane 10. So, just for testing purposes, I wanted to see. But X-Plane 10 has definitely performed smoother running Windows 11 as the server. That's a fact. I've seen that on numerous rides now. So, but I still have to update that to 11. No hurry. Still want to do a few more tests. Alright, 627. We should have 10.5 on the fuel with 10.5. 9.8 when we get in. Another 28 miles to go. That's all looking pretty good. Coming down beautifully. And the temperature is mighty fine. Oh no, pretty good ride. Oh, I think there's someone behind us coming in on that maze. Some city lights out there, but way out in the distance though. You can see the headlights on the highway here, and you can see the tail lights on the highway out that way, extending out. Pretty cool. I know the camera's not doing it justice, but it looks good in here. Rather nice. Alright, so 621. We should have 10.4 on the fuel with 10.4. So 24 miles to go. That puts us at the end of the star here. So let's bring up... Oh, fat fingers, wrong one. Let's bring up the approach into 15, right? And we're doing the ILS-Y. Why? Because we can't fly forever. We run out of gas. And we're popping up on that chart right now. And we've got our runways. I don't know if you're picking them up now. They just seem to pop in right there. I also want to see in the daytime when I run X-Plane on my next ride is some of these turns. I want to see and make sure that both of these are actually pretty smooth and they're in sync. Because if you go back to my videos in Windows 10, you'll notice that there's a lag in these two. I didn't notice it in Windows 11. So it's going to be interesting on the next ride. We'll do a day ride after I get something to eat in X-Plane. Matter of fact, we'll just do the return trip. I'll go see if it exists in the real world and then plot it all out. All right, we got 20 miles to go now. That's an hour and 29 minutes since we left the gate, hour and 17 since we entered the runway. They did this ride in an hour and 36 minutes. So we've got 7 minutes, and we're on time. Pretty cool run. And on the mist, we're going to be swinging around going to 320, holding at 4. Yeah, we'll get that in just a bit. We can even pick up the localizer. So the auto flight system was absolutely superb. And what did I say here? Let me take a look at that. We want to come all the way down, so let's not brake so hard. We're going to let it roll. We got to come all the way down to Tango. Wow, that's pretty wild reality. That's pretty wild. All right, what are we, 15 miles out now? Pretty cool ride. And what are we coming in at? 146, all right. A little slower, couple knots. That looks rather nice. Can't tell about the color. I'm on a different angle, so the colors look a little different to me. Not by much, but I don't know if I got to tone it down a touch on the color, or I don't know. I'll have to take a look. All right, we're coming up on a 10-mile final now. And let's switch on over. Let's bring up you now. And give me the gear. And we're in the slope. $15 on the flaps. Speed check. You should not show extended. $25 on the flaps. And we'll go right to 30, speed check. Alright, so lights, engine start select is auto brake, speed brake, landing gear, flaps, and they have been notified. 10 notification complete, speed brake is on, landing gear is down, 3 green, flaps are set for landing. $4,000, and that was 3-0. It's got to come back around. Alright, Holden, and 307. This is still all the auto flight system. From 400 feet, we'll take her all the way down to 1,000. But she's performed beautifully, no complaints really. Hope you're enjoying that view. Hey Roberto, how's it going? You just caught us on the back end, good timing. And if you don't like the night lighting, those of you that are just joining in, those are my night lighting edits. That's not on Laminar Research. I added a little bit more of the old style blue, you know, those big sodium bulbs that they used to have way back when. When I was doing real world flying, my bird, I've got control. A lot of those bulbs were still out there, and it reminds me of real world stuff, so that's why I keep them in there. They seem to be pretty popular. There's over 12,000 downloads, so someone's liking them, that's for sure. But if you don't like them, whoa! We just hit somebody's wake turbulence there. Back in the groove there, Louis. Back in the groove. Here we got whacked with something there. I feel like wake turbulence. Unless we got a weather update. I wasn't looking down at that screen. Continue. Prepare for landing. We can afford to use all this runway. We want to come down to Tango anyway.
Big nuts.
And we want A2. It's the one we want. And you can go to TA and test. And we'll take 2. Hope you enjoyed that ride, man. I had a blast. That was great. That was great. I don't think I found any issues with that. If these other 2 programs were installed, it probably would have been a perfect ride for me. Oh, where are we here? That's showing as a runway. What the heck? I don't have that as a runway here. What is that? Where are you going, Louis? Oh, no, it's a taxiway. It's just this guy's coming to take off here. I don't know why you're using this, Louis. Oh, there you go. Get out of our way. APU is up. APU. We'll give that a minute. Come on, Saudi. Get out the way. I thought we were turning onto a runway there for a second. See, the graphics look so much nicer. than they did in the past. I can see that with my eyes. The camera may not be picking that up, but I can see that. And that's because I bumped up the AA or the AF, one of the two, being that they're both one notch from being full right. And everything else on the right side is full right. Everything else is full right. Alright, how about we get Tango across before someone else comes over here? Boogie like you're in Southwest Airlines. And we'll come on you. And we can even dump that right. So let's have a peek. Oh, that's what it was, the lights, taxi lights. I got to take a look at the taxi lights. That was the third item. The taxi lights, okay. Alright, exterior lights as needed. We are good. APU start, yep, that's up and running. Yaw dampers off, window heat switches as needed, they're off. Probe heat switches are off. Engine wing anti-ice off. Engine start selectors as needed, they're off. Auto brake is off. Spoilers are down. Flaps are up. Transponders TA auto. Weather radar set to test. Okay, there's electric. Up next going to be hydraulics. So we're going to take Tango all the way down to the end, and then, well, not down to the end, but to Foxtrot. We'll hang a right. So that's an hour and 40 minutes since we left the gate. Hour and 28 minutes from runway to runway. So, matter of fact, 8 minutes early. Not bad. 8 minutes early, pretty good. Well, we did have a tailwind pushing us along. Nice having my Traffic Global aircraft back. You may have noticed that there's no aircraft in 2020, and there's hydraulics. It's because I have Traffic Global out trying to keep it smooth. They'll get introduced again, definitely. Alright, we got the right coming up here. But the aircraft look nice and sharp now. Very happy with that. Just kind of want to kick myself for not updating the Windows 11 a lot sooner. But I'm old school. You know, I don't like that change stuff. Plus, I don't like that Windows is trying to look more and more like an Apple phone with the apps. You know, the Apple phone is an Apple phone with its apps. You're a PC computer. You should have your own identity. You're trying to copy off other people, man. Alright, we got a right coming up here. Hopefully no one's in our parking space. Big thing is, I really didn't notice any stutters. A couple of flickers here and there, but far and few in between. But I think I still have to work on some of these lights. I think I made them a little bit too small, and then the monitor can't figure out where it is, and I get that kind of light flicker where it shows like 3 or 4 times. So right there, I don't know if you can tell. So that's the only thing I got to work on. Really, that kind of would be annoying, but it really doesn't bother me. I don't see it in the front. My peripheral vision catches it. All right, easy, Louie. You're not Southwest. Wow, a lot of aircraft out here. And they look pretty good. I'm really not noticing any flickers. And there's a lot of big birds out here. Looks like a well built up airport. Surprised I've never been here before. Oh, we still got a little ways to go down. I should probably pull in here and then pull on the side. get a closer look at those birds, but I'm definitely happy with this. Yeah, see, I don't know if you caught that. Monitor gets a little mixed up there with those tiny lights and throws them up all over the place. But that's the monitor. Monitors are like 10 years old. Definitely getting tired. But we just laid out a whole bunch of cash for Shadow's radiation treatment. So don't think I'll be buying monitors anytime soon. Alright, here we are. Right, coming up here. Oh, I don't think anybody's in our gate. I think we're right next to that big bird right there. Yeah, it is nice and smooth. I'm liking this. Oh yeah. Nice and smooth. And the graphics are pumped up one notch from full right on the AAAF, and that's impressive. That's impressive. Especially on the i9 10900s. Because all the graphics are full right, they're maxed. Alright, that should be our gate right there. Oh, they're using different numbers than what we have. Now we can get rid of that taxi light. Let's see, are we going to have a marshal here? Nope, no marshal. Oh, I noticed the gates are here. And they're showing up on the externals as well. Oh, there's the marshal. He is here. I thought you were on a coffee break, buddy. I just wish you had a little more leeway, though. You're real tight on this line. Oh, see, now it's disappearing. All right, anti-collision and let him run around. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that ride. I really had a blast this ride because this was smooth. I think Windows 11 is the way to go, man, and I missed out on it. So from gate to gate, you're looking at 146. Not a bad ride. It was pretty nice all the way around. I'm going to get another ride in here. I'm probably going to turn this down. Actually, you know what? Let's shut it down completely. Because I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to get SayIntentions and XATC in here. And then I'm going to run another X-plane flight before we move on over to MS 2020. So, let's run through this. Electrical power, AP or ground. You didn't do any of this, did you? No, you did not. I need... what do I need here? I need the electronic flight bag. Hopefully it's going to work on the back end. No, the screen just went white. You going to come back? Shows initializing. Maybe so. Think we're going to get lucky. Yeah, look at that. Ground services. All right, CPU, set that. ASU doors. Get those doors open. All right, so the chocks are in position. We can get rid of the park and brake. Ground power is available. Let's get on ground. Very good. Unconditioned air is available. And you're off. You're off, and you're on standby. So let's run through that, and then we'll shut it down completely. All right, so we're on ground. We are set for unconditioned air. Yes. Fuel levers are set to cut off. Anti-collision light is off. Passenger signs are off. Fuel pump switches are off. Electrical panel check set. Galley power is off. Window heat switches are off. Hydraulic pumps, electric 2 and 1 are off. Exterior lights as needed. We have position and logo. Flight director switches are off. Chocks in position, parking brake is off, and let's shut down completely. IRS selectors to off. Emergency exit lights are off. Exterior lights are off. Let's get set for uncontrolled. Yeah, nope, that was right there. That is set for bleed. You're going to go back to both. AP or ground. Let's come off ground power. Let's get the AC/DC selectors back to standby, and battery switch is off. All right, and that is a complete ride from start to finish. So that's an originator flight where the aircraft is completely cold and dark to completely securing the aircraft on the back end. I'm going to shut all this down now. I'm going to get SayIntentions next. Oh, let me write that down. Taxi light. That was the third item before I forget. I knew there was a third item somewhere. I'm going to get those 3 items straightened up. I'm going to come in here and get a day ride in here. And then we'll move on to 2020 and see if that's going to, perform the way it should. All right, everybody. For those of you that are with me today, I hope you enjoyed today or tonight's ride. Like I said, I always have a blast when I'm in here, and I always enjoy the company and the conversation. So thanks for stopping by. Man, I know you have a lot of choices of stuff that you can watch, on YouTube and cable TV and on your phones and whatnot. So I appreciate you stopping by, spending that time with me. All right. And I will catch you on my next run, more than likely later on tonight after I go have dinner. I think we're having pizza. We're ordering pizza, so. And I'll catch you on the back end, everybody. Take care. My voice held up pretty good. Stuff ain't breaking up, though. Might need another drink. I just finished. I was like, pizza, yeah. You want pizza? Well, yeah, just